This is the weekly sales meeting for August 3rd, 2025. My name is Chris Fleming. You can reach me at chris@cdmediaconsulting.com or go to our website at cdmediaconsulting.com. Today's topic, change is choice. Change is never easy. In sales, it's especially hard. Most outside sellers know what they should do to grow, but few actually do it. The reason is simple. It's uncomfortable. It means doing things that take effort, discipline, and courage. And most people, if left alone, will choose what feels good over what is good. That's why real change doesn't happen by accident. It happens by choice. Sellers must choose to change, and then they must choose the same change again every single day. People do not decide their futures, author F.M. Alexander once said. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures. For a sales team to grow, each person on the team must choose to break the habits that keep them stuck. It means letting go of what is easy and reaching for what is hard. Most salespeople want to win, but few want to do what winners do. That's why the first and most powerful step towards growth is deciding to leave the status quo behind. But here's the truth, you can't force someone to grow. You can't teach anyone anything unless they want to learn. Real transformation only happens when a person is ready, and when they've made the decision inside themselves to be different. Change is not something that can be handed out like a script or taught like a playbook. It has to be chosen. Growth begins the moment someone says, "I'm done being stuck." That's why leadership in sales is not about commanding. It's about creating the kind of space where change is possible. A space where people feel challenged, supported, and free to try something new. People don't grow because you tell them to. They grow because they experience something that shifts their perspective. Teaching can inspire, but only experience transforms. That means sellers have to live through the discomfort of change, not hear about it in a meeting. And leaders have to stop preaching and start modeling what change really looks like. The status quo is a powerful trap. It feels safe. It feels familiar. It tells us this is how we've always done it. And in that safety, mediocrity grows. Organizations that resist change are 50% less likely to meet revenue goals during downturns. This is according to McKinsey & Company. In contrast, those that embrace disciplined change outperform their peers by 60% in recovery phases. For sales teams, this means that waiting for the perfect moment to improve is a dangerous lie. There is no perfect time. There is only the decision to improve or the decision not to. So what does it look like when a seller makes that choice? It looks like doing the hard things, the things most won't do, like making one more cold call after everyone else has stopped, like preparing for a meeting instead of winging it, like learning to ask better questions, listen longer, and build trust over time. These are not flashy moves. They are not always fun, but they are the things that work. Jocko Willink is a retired U.S. Navy SEAL officer. He is a leadership consultant and best-selling author. He commanded SEAL Team 3's Task Unit Bruiser in Iraq. He later co-founded Echelon Front, a leadership training company. Willink is the author of books like Extreme Ownership and Discipline Equals Freedom. He hosts the popular Jocko podcast. He said discipline equals freedom. One of the hardest parts of change is accepting personal responsibility. That may sound strange to a seller who feels trapped by targets, quotas, and long days. But it's true. If you choose discipline, you take control. When you show up early, prepare thoroughly, and follow through, the control is yours. You stop being reactive and start being proactive. You stop blaming the market, the leads, and or your manager. You start owning your future. But again, no one can do that for you. The desire to improve must come from within. A coach can point the way, but you must take the steps. That's why leaders who want to inspire change must stop trying to control outcomes. Instead, they must plant seeds, ask questions, challenge assumptions, and most of all, live the example. Because when people see your growth, they may want their own. And when they see what's possible, they may begin to ask, why not me? One uncomfortable but necessary action is giving up the illusion of multitasking. According to Stanford research, people who multitask are 40% less productive than those who focus on one task at a time. For sellers, it means giving one client your full attention before moving on to another one. The seller who concentrates their effort will always outperform one juggling 5 conversations at once. It's not about working more hours, it's about working with more intention. Another hard thing sellers must do is ask for feedback. This sounds simple, but in reality it's uncomfortable. Feedback means you might hear something you don't like. It means admitting that you don't have all the answers, but it's also the fastest way to grow. According to a study by Zenger-Folkman, leaders who seek feedback are rated in the top 10% for overall effectiveness. Salespeople are no different. The more you seek insight from clients, peers, or mentors, the faster you improve. The key is to stop defending yourself and start learning from others. Great sellers also make a habit of practicing. They don't spend their time on selling every day, although that helps. When they are not in front of customers, they are working on their craft. They are practicing customer conversations. Most sellers only practice when they're in front of a real buyer. That's a mistake. Professional athletes don't train in front of fans. They train behind the scenes so they can perform under pressure. Sales is no different. These sellers do things like role-playing. They rehearse their presentations. They are refining their sales story. These are the kinds of uncomfortable tasks that lead to long-term success. Another uncomfortable shift is the move from talking to listening. Sellers love to talk. They're trained to pitch, but the most effective salespeople speak less and listen more. According to a study from Gong.io, top performers talk only 43% of the time during discovery calls. The rest is listening. It is asking questions, clarifying, and learning. This kind of listening takes humility and patience. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about helping the buyer feel heard, understood, and guided. Persistence is another uncomfortable habit. Most deals are not won on the first call or the second. According to the National Sales Executive Association, 80% of sales need at least 5 follow-ups, but 44% of sellers give up after 1 follow-up. Why? Because it's hard. Because rejection stings. Because it's easier to move on than to stay engaged. But change comes from staying with the process, from doing what others won't again and again. Changing also means focusing on the right clients, not just the easy ones. Many sellers chase low-hanging fruit, small accounts, easy closes. But those wins don't build legacies. Growth comes from pursuing big clients, what many call whales. These deals take time. They require research, patience, and strategy, but they are worth it. According to the Harvard Business Review, acquiring a new large customer can be 5 to 10 times more valuable than a small one, but only if the seller is willing to do the work to earn it. Consistency is one of the most overlooked and uncomfortable disciplines in sales. Most people get motivated for a while, but motivation fades. The top performers succeed because they keep showing up with purpose, even when it's hard. As Hall of Fame coach Vince Lombardi said, the man on top of the mountain didn't fall there. Great salespeople don't rise by chance, they rise by choice. Choosing discipline, choosing structure, and choosing to follow through every single day, no matter how they feel. And while routines matter, so does mindset. A seller who believes they can grow will look for ways to improve. A seller who believes they are stuck will stay stuck. That's why part of the transformation is believing that change is possible, that your best days are not behind you. Your current results do not define your future potential. Sometimes change means letting go of ego. Many sellers think they know it all, but growth requires curiosity. It means asking, what am I missing? Or what can I do better? Most successful people are also the most coachable. They understand that learning never stops, that the moment you think you've arrived, you stop growing. Sales is not only a job, it's a craft, and like any craft, it demands mastery. That mastery is not found in shortcuts. It's found in repetition, refinement, and reflection. Legendary basketball coach John Wooden said, it's the little details that are vital. Little things make big things happen. In sales, those little things might be a better follow-up email, a stronger close, or a cleaner proposal. And those details come from the choice to get better, and making that choice every single day. Making the choice to change also affects the entire sales team. One person's discipline sets the tone for others. Culture is not built by words, it is built by actions. When a seller chooses the hard path, others notice, and over time, the team's standard rises. But when a team avoids discomfort, that becomes the standard too. As the saying goes, what you allow is what will continue. Sales organizations that support change must reward it. Too often, managers only praise results. But effort matters too, especially effort in the right direction. Recognizing the seller who practiced more and took the harder path or went the extra mile reinforces that the choice to change is worth it. According to Gallup, employees who feel recognized are 63% more likely to stay with their company, and they are 4.6 times more likely to feel engaged. But change is not only about motivation, it's about structure. Sales leaders must build systems that make the hard things easier to do. That means setting clear expectations, offering regular coaching, and removing unnecessary friction. Help sellers keep a well-run pipeline. Make sure they are operating with a clean CRM. Give them a focused playbook. These are the tools that make it more likely a seller will stick with the changes they choose. In the end, change is a decision, a daily decision, and it's not made in a big moment, it's made in the small ones. The choice to prepare for tomorrow's call, the choice to ask for feedback after a loss, the choice to pick up the phone when you'd rather scroll through your phone. These are the moments that shape your career as a seller. It is not talent, it is not luck, but it's the choices we make. Rosabeth Kanter is a professor at Harvard Business School. She is renowned for her work on strategy, innovation, and leadership. She is the author of several influential books, including Confidence and Move. Her research and writing have shaped modern thinking on the dynamics of successful change. She says everything looks like failure in the middle. Change is messy. It feels uncertain. It's full of setbacks. But those who push through and stay with it, even when it's uncomfortable, are the ones who rise. And they don't just succeed in sales. They lead, they build, they inspire. Because at the heart of all growth is a simple truth. Change can't be taught. It is a selected choice. And once you decide you want it, that is when everything changes for you. My new book, 21st Century Sales Success, is now available on Amazon.com. If you like what you have heard here today, please consider ordering a copy, or two. You can always send one to a friend. Go to cdmediaconsulting.com right now and follow the instructions to order.